So you've never played Link's Awakening. It is a really strange game for many reasons, and we're going to get into that here in a moment. But today I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I'm very excited that this is happening. We've heard rumors about this before, and I'm over the little disappointment that was there when I found out it wasn't a brand new 2D Zelda game. This is the next best thing in my opinion. This is the weirdest Zelda game you've never played, guys. If you've never played it, you are in for a treat. I just want to talk about the timeline placement very quickly. The game happens directly after A Link to the Past, the best game of all time in my humble opinion. Let me know what you think is the best game of all time, even if it isn't Zelda. I'm still just curious. So this happens right after I played this a ton on the Game Boy Color, and it's such a unique experience. There are all sorts of callbacks and little weird things here and there, and I do want to give this fair little warning. There are some slight spoilers for Link's Awakening. We're not going to get into anything too crazy, but if you don't know what the game is and how it came to be and all of that, we're going to talk about it a little bit. Some slight spoilers for the story, nothing crazy. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into why I think that Link's Awakening is the strangest Zelda game that you've never played.
The strangeness that is Link's Awakening actually begins with its development. It's the first Zelda game to be made for handheld devices, and we've had a lot of them since then, and it actually began as a port to A Link to the Past, my favorite game of all time. I would have loved to see that, but I'm actually glad that they diverted and it turned into what it did. Eventually, things shifted and the team behind Link's Awakening actually made it after hours. You know a game is going to be a little weird when you make it under the cover of the night, and it shifts from a port of a beloved SNES game to something original. Okay, so what are the first things that you think about when you think of Zelda? The princess, of course, the Triforce, Hyrule. Well, none of those are in Link's Awakening. Instead, the game takes place on Koholint Island, and it revolves around the dream of a whale-like entity called the Windfish. And yes, that's super weird, and it's exactly as weird as it sounds, honestly. I won't get into the plot too much, since I suspect a lot of you will be playing it for the first time this year, but it can get pretty bonkers. But speaking of bonkers, how crazy is it to see a Chain Chomp and a Goomba in the trailer for the remake? Well, that's not all, because Mario, Yoshi, Kirby, and a few more obscure Nintendo characters all have cameos of some kind. You can even stomp on a Goomba's head in a Zelda game. Oh, and Piranha Plants are in it too. Onuma has even said that he feels that Link's Awakening is the first Zelda game with a real plot. Even stranger, the team behind it said that they were inspired by Twin Peaks, and I can try, but there isn't much in the world that's much weirder than Twin Peaks if you've ever seen the TV show. Now, don't get me wrong, maybe you have played Link's Awakening back in the day, but if you're a little bit younger and your introduction to Zelda was one of the remakes, I don't know, maybe the Wind Waker one, and Breath of the Wild is exactly how you think Zelda is, this one is definitely going to change your perception of it a little bit. The dungeons in it are still really cool, but they are like nightmare bosses and stuff like that they're nightmare bosses. They're strange and they get difficult. The dungeons are really cool in this. I love the puzzles in Link's Awakening, so I am super happy that it's getting remade in such a cute and beautiful art style, and I can't wait to see exactly how all these cameos are going to look with the updated graphics. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Zach and I were both a little let down that this isn't a brand new adventure. This is an adventure that we've had before. Many of us had played the game multiple times since it was released back in 1998. But if you missed it, if this is going to be the very first time you go through Link's Awakening, you are in for a real treat. And maybe, if this one does well, a future 2D Zelda game on Switch could become a thing. I do think that after this, the next game on Switch is going to be some sort of big Zelda game. I'm sure they're working on it, probably in the early stages of it. I don't think we get back-to-back Zelda games. I would have also really loved to have seen something like Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass. Not remakes of those necessarily, because those are so entwined in the DNA of the platform that they were on. Use stylus and stuff like that, for crying out loud. Another really cool thing about Link's Awakening is that there's an ocarina in it, and you know, the next game after Link's Awakening that was released was Ocarina of Time. Music has always been important in Zelda, and one of the quests in this game is that you're gonna go get a whole bunch of instruments in order to wake up this whale that I spoke about previously. It's all kind of awesome, in my opinion. There's also side quests, something that we don't see a ton in Zelda games as well. There are always like side things to do, but this one does them a little bit differently and in an unexpected way. That's really fun as well. We also have multiple instances of the fourth wall being broken. You have a kid NPC that's always just giving you little hints, and he's even saying, hey, I don't know why I'm saying this, I'm just a kid. One of the things that always stuck with me is how one of the developers of the game said that this kind of felt like a parody of a Zelda game, and that actually totally makes sense. If you told me that this was just a Zelda parody that wasn't made by Nintendo, I would believe you, but they did in fact make it, and it is one of the best games in the series.
So there you have it. Okay, we have callbacks to multiple franchises. We have Peach in the game. We have Mario kind of in the game. We have Mario enemies. It's all a dream. Zelda's not in the game. It's not even in Hyrule. Okay, yes, this is a weird game, as you guys can see from everything I just said. Let me know what you think. Are you still excited to check it out sometime this year? Hopefully sooner rather than later. This has instantly jumped to the top of my list on the games I am excited for the year. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to get my hands on that super cute art style. But let me know your thoughts. Comments down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And that is pretty much it. We have Twitter links in the description. Check them out. There's a train passing by. Spirit Tracks sequel or reimagining or something, everybody? Is this a sign? Who knows? But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for watching. SwitchForce out.